Hello, powerful one. Welcome to this edition of Inner Growth to Sezwa Elimihe. Today, we are discussing the phenomenon of prayer. What is it? How is it? Why is it? All the saints, the world over, have made it clear to us that we have a duty to make requests of the Supreme One. Some use the word the universe. But it's very clear that there is the universe and there is the Supreme One. The universe is a system of laws. It's a system of cause and effect that direct and guide existence. So that is not the source. Okay? But then, if you act in line with the laws of the universe, you are praying. I remember a mentor of mine at the university, Professor S.E. Okude, is now late, once said when I was in year 2, when students were always using lecture halls to organize services during lecture hours. And he made a statement when he was saying that this is just an aberration, that people will be praying during lecture hours, distracting students from the purpose of school. He said, working is praying, and that thing just sank into me. You have to live your life the way you want your life to be. You get it? So over the years, I came to the conclusion that actually living is praying. Prayer is the way you relate to life. And the truth is, there is nothing that beats that definition. Because at the end of the day, life is a network of cause and effects, of actions and reactions. When you initiate an event, there is bound to be a fallout to that event. So that initiation of the event is praying. You are placing a demand on life, and then the fallout of that initiation of that event becomes an answer to the prayer. Everyone prays, but this is it. We mistook prayer for opening our mouth to talk, to ask. It is not. Prayer actually is an energy manifestation. It is the thoughts that we embrace, the thoughts that we entertain, the feelings we allow, the responses we give to what is said, what is done to, for, before us. That is prayer. Therefore, when the Lord Jesus Christ said, ask and it shall be given unto you, seek ye shall find, knock it shall be opened unto you. For those of us who are faith people, when we read that portion of the scriptures, we feel so moved and say, what? Christ is making the concept of prayer very simple. He's simply making it clear to us that anything we ask for, we will get it. But the answer is yes, he was right. Anything we ask for, we get it. But this is it. God and the system that he has put in place do not respond to our words. Remember, Jesus Christ said, not those who call me Lord, Lord shall enter the kingdom, but those who what? Who do the will of the Father. So it is not the words that we say that constitute prayer. It is the vibration. It is the intention that our being totally carries. That is the prayer. So you might be asking for a good life, a life of affluence, a life of health, a life of romance, a life of peace. But the question is that, are you in alignment with that life? Do the actions that you carry out on a daily basis mentally connect with these requests you are placing on the altar of life? Yes or no? That is the real prayer. Living is praying. As you breathe, I said I think I did something, I had done a video on this thing, that we talk about the cycle of action is create, create, create. Start, continue, stop. Start, continue, change. Some people have start, continue, continue. They just keep doing the same thing. They don't introduce a change at some point in their lives. When you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you will be getting the same result over and over again. No matter how well, no matter how loudly you pray, it will not work. Prayer is not a verbal exercise, it is a mental exercise. A lot of people have cried, they have screamed, they have gone to prayer places to roll on the floor, okay. They go to some holy places, throw themselves on the floor and hope that this will make them get answers. Some people fast, they punish their bodies just in order to get answers to prayers. But I'm going to tell you this. Try it as much as you want. That is not the prayer. If fasting takes you to a point where you are able to connect with a higher energy that transmutes your negativity to positivity and then aligns that positivity with the demands that you are making, answers come. But if fasting keeps you the same way you are as a negative person, then there's no way you are going to get an answer. Now, let me also break this down. There are two ways we pray. One, we remain at the frequency of our humanity, which is all love, all peace, that is devoid of hatred, that is devoid of acrimony, no jealousy, no fear, nothing. We are courageous and we are bold. That is the real human being. Okay? There is no drop of malice in your system. Then you are a person of faith. There is nothing that you won't have. In fact, you will be the one dictating what you don't want. You determine what you don't want out of the lot of things. That's why Christ said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Every other thing, all other things shall be added unto you. All other things are the material, mental, and even spiritual energies that you require to live a higher life. But this is what happened to a lot of people. They live at the level of matter, at the level where it is very difficult to command energy. That is the effect side of life. What are the effect side of life? The house, the good clothes, the great cars, everything, the romance, the beautiful children. All of these things are the effect side of life. Behind these effects, there is energy, a corresponding energy. So when you leave the energy behind and you are now living at the effect side, trying to get the effect, you see, it becomes a problem. So what you need to do is to be in alignment with the energy of the things that you want. So this is it. What are the things you want in life? Are they good things? That is to say, these are things that are pleasurable, that are blissful, that are full of happiness, that are beautiful, that are clean energy. If these are the things you want, then what the scriptures have always asked you to do is that let your life, let your vibes align with this particular thing. You don't need to ask for it. You will get it. You will get them. Because the concept of prayer is not verbal. It's not talking. It's not screaming. It's not crying. It's not about you punishing yourself. It's about you upgrading yourself. Upgrading your frequency to the level of what you want. That's number one. That's one way to go about it. I talked about the first one, which is to say, remain at your human level. Now, let me tell you why remaining at your human level is good. See, Everything that a human being, you and I, require for life have been given unto us before we were born into this body. Those things have been given to us. He says he has given unto us all that pertain to life and godliness. That is to say, what we need to have pleasures in this world and what we need to have spiritual attainments have been given to us before we arrived here. So all our prayers have been answered. They have been delivered at where? At the human frequency domain. But when we were born, based on the programming done to us, we either went below our human frequency, we started operating at the animal frequency, which is this physical body, we won't be able to get those things. Or we started operating at the corrupted energy level, which is emotion. Energy that is colored by thoughts. And that energy is not equal to all the beauties of the human life. Therefore, we are not able to reach the frequency of our humanity. Therefore, all the things given to us, we are not able to reach them. All that the Spirit of life is saying to us each time we are suffering is, hey, match, and you'll be okay. But we are not able to match. What then happens is that there's now an arithmetic of selection. It's okay. What are those basic things that if you had, your life will just be good enough? You say, okay, if I have 50,000 every other day, my life will be good. If I have, my life will be good. If I have, my life will be good. Then we're now saying, okay, you know what? Let us now reduce these things. Try and match the frequency of these things. That's all. Match the frequencies of the things that you are looking for, and then you command it, you bring it into your field. That's what prayer is all about. It's about matching the frequency. That's why I asked that question earlier. The things that you want. Now, there are some people who actually want bad things. What are those bad things? These are things that are really, even if they have pleasure, they have what they call guilty pleasure attached to them. They want, for instance, somebody that offended them to be punished. They want somebody that they consider very fake, somebody that they don't like, to suffer. Okay? And when that person suffers, they find joy. This is the content of their prayer. This is what they want. All right? They want to have an experience of somebody that they considered beautiful, that is considered high class, that, oh, if I can just have some time with this guy, this lady, it'll be great. That is an energy level. And you know the funny part of it, there are always teachers, there are gurus who are training people on how to match all of these levels of energies. Then you are to match your energy to that level. I talked in yesterday's video about a young lady who kept complaining that the type of men that she wanted, she never got them. It is the one that she didn't like that she always got. And I had to advise her, say, babe, what is happening to you right now is your creation. You have this feeling that you are not good enough. I said, how do you feel when you see those people? If you saw right now that kind of guy showing interest in you, what comes to your mind? He said, well, it's really not, it's not true. You know, those kind of things, they just want to use you and go. Ooh, you see, you have no faith in your capacity to attract such a guy into your life. So when a guy that meets the standard of your dream life starts showing interest in you, you think the person is out to use you. Of course, if that is your thinking, so it becomes. As a man, woman thinks, so he, she is. I said you have to start leveling up. There are certain programs in your mind that are saying that you are not good enough for this kind of guys. That these kind of guys can only come into your life and use you. Therefore, you begin to build to meet that level of frequency so that you don't start losing those guys. It's just like this. It's funny, right? But I'm going to say it. You want a full car. A full car. And then you realize that you cannot get every one of it. Then they now said, okay, let's start with something. Let's just start with something. You can't afford the car because you don't have the energy, you don't have the capacity to connect with it. Let's give you the foot mats. Let's give you the foot mat of the car. You can put it in at the doorstep of your house. You can put it in your room, or you can put it at the foot of your bed. When you get up, you step on it, you see the logo, you begin to align with it. They begin to give you the car piecemeal. As you are able to afford it, they give it to you. Okay? That is what all of us do in life. Because the relationship, the great house, the car, the romance, the travels, everything that constitutes the good life, the health, they are all available when we match up with the human energy. The human energy is positive. It has a sense of self-worth. It is worthy. It is loving. It is friendly. It is generous. It is not discriminatory. It is all positive. It is not competitive, but it is cooperative. That is the human energy. When you can align your thoughts, your feelings, your emotion to this, everything that you want in life will come to you easy peasy. But if you cannot match that level of being, then you can now come to the level of the things that you want little by little and begin to match them little by little so that they can come to you. Maybe when you get one or two of them, you might have enough faith to level up and say, okay, now I'm ready to get the big things. That's one. The second one is that the things that you want may be negative. They might require that you be, maybe you want somebody punished. You want somebody dealt with seriously because the person is fake, the person offends you. Now, what you need to do is to match the punishments with your energy. You have to crank your energy to a level that matches that punishment that the person should get. And what is that thing? Anger. Just get angry. When you get angry, if you don't know how to get angry, go and watch some bad movies. Watch some movies that will get you angry. Watch a horror movie of punishment, and then your anger will come up. Or dwell on the thought of the person doing bad things, and it is so easy. Human beings are very imaginative. If I begin to increase the person's fakeness, begin to increase the person's sins in your imagination, and so that you get that anger, and then you'll be able to pull it across. But this is one thing. It is subject to the person falling to that level that you want him to get to, because there's a frequency for punishment, there's a frequency for suffering. No matter how much anger you gather inside of you, if the person does not succumb to the frequency of that punishment, the person will not suffer. This is why people learn the art of instigation. Okay, they want to use you. They throw anger at you. You see them just come to your Facebook wall and drop something very nasty about you. They want you to get angry. And when they take this game of anger to you from time to time, you get angry, you flare up. Anytime you think of them, you are angry. Now you are coming to their level. Meanwhile, they have stored up for you in their mind punishment. They have a roiling anger, a volcano of hate for you. And the moment you start taking the anger that they are bringing to you and you start following it, flowing with it, you come to the level where they can hit you. It's not them that are hitting you, it is you hitting yourself because you brought yourself to that level. This is why I say, be careful of the kind of company you keep. Be careful of the kind of things you listen to, the kind of music you listen to. Because when you drop to a frequency, you start seeing things that are that frequency. And then when you open up to them, those things come to you in a rush. You get it? Now, when you are at a higher frequency, what also happens to you, you also find that things that are in that frequency begin to roll around you. See, this is how it happens. You begin to have a feeling. You see an opening, like just like a beautiful flower of light pops open on your inside. And it sends the aroma into your being. And you say, oh, this is beautiful. I love this. Bam. You open the door for that thing. It's going to come in. All right. And then another time you see another beautiful flower of light representing another aspect of the life that you desire, and it pops open, and you see, say, oh, this is beautiful, I just love this, I wish this for every human being that exists in the world. Boom! You're creating doors into the life of your dream. In the same way, a thought of anger comes about somebody. This person should suffer, an idiot, look at him. And then that thought comes in, you welcome it. It's going on. But let me tell you one thing. You that are wishing punishment to somebody else, you must also be in the level for that person to have that punishment. You, because you are the signal station. You are the one emitting that thing. Therefore, you must be at its frequency all the time for that person to get it. So you don't grow, and the person must fall into that trouble. Because if you grow, if you outlive that thing, it's all over. The person cannot suffer it because you are supposed to be the generator. Unless you have been able to put so much venom in the person's mind that each time the person thinks of you, he thinks of those things that you generated in him or her. That anger is building in that person. Then, at the end of the day, the person will still fall into it. But as long as the person has not fallen into the trap, you must remain at the level you want that person to come to. So that's why I keep saying it is very dangerous to be a curser of people, because you must share in a curse. Now, this is the challenge why people's prayers are not answered. You are asking for a great life, but you are denying other people the life that you are asking for. You see that your thoughts about you is up there. Your thought about other people is down here. There's no way you can get there. Okay, there's no way. The ultimate is that you will end up where you wish other people. He said, do unto others as you will have them do unto you. It's about matching. If your actions, if your mental actions, if your emotional actions are not matching the desires that you want to be fulfilled in your life, then it cannot happen. And one of the ways you erode those desires is by having other desires that are lower than it. So you can't want to have health and you wish your enemy sickness. You can't want to have wealth and wish your enemy poverty. It's not going to work. You can't want to have beauty and charm and you wish other people ugliness and repulsion or revulsion. It doesn't work that way. Whatever it is that you desire, you must desire for the entire humanity. You know, that is how it works. This is why prayers are not answered. Because all answers are available at a frequency. But can you match that frequency? And I hope I have just spoken to you. You know what I'm talking about right now. Okay? There is a particular, I think there are about two of them, two pastors that I love in Nigeria. One of them died recently. One thing I have noticed is that people have spoken all kinds of evil about them. They never retaliated. They just kept quiet. They just keep going. It is the same reason I love the current president of Nigeria. People are saying evil things about him. They are coming up with all kinds of unprintable thoughts. But you know what? He has never responded to them. He has never called anybody out to say, I want to be fighting you. No. The guy is facing his life. Meanwhile, the rest of people are facing the idea of his life in their minds, and they are just having it all over the place. So, be focused. Focus. Alignment is the spirit of prayer. Okay? Prayer is a being. It is becoming one with the desires of your heart. That's what prayer is. It's a being. It's not a doing. It's not a shouting match. It's not a fasting, unless when fasting means that you are upgrading your frequency. When you are fasting, what happens is that your mental mode drops down to theta brainwave mode. At that level, you can actually utter a lot of things about your life. You get it? That is why it is good that when you are fasting, you should be in a state of introspection. Don't be in a place where you are running over a place where you are listening to things and sleeping off. No, be sure of what you are listening to when you are fasting, because at that time your system is heated up. You know how molds are formed. In intense heat, you create the mold. Anything you place on a hot surface becomes a scar, a mold on that thing. So be very careful when you fast. Make sure that you are using the time, you are alert, and you are conscious of the things that you hear. In all of this, prayer is not about self-punishment. It's not about crying. It's not about screaming. It's about alignment. It's about becoming what you want to be. It's about positivity. Stick to your humanity, and that will be prayer enough. Thank you.